All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Tonight we're talking about the streaking Tampa Bay Buccaneers. No, this is not an old school recap. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers sitting here at 7-7, 3 straight victories, taking down the Green Bay Packers on the road in the month of December, 34-20. Baker Mayfield. We're getting baked for Baker later today. The Bake Show, former #1 draft pick. This dude, I think, in my opinion, this afternoon just solidified that he will be on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers roster as QB1 next season. Folks, he put out a masterclass performance. And this is now back-to-back weeks, and Baker Mayfield just knows how to win. This dude just finds ways to win. He is the definition of a misfit, and I absolutely love it for this Buccaneers team. I think he is the perfect culture setter. I think he's the perfect tone setter. These guys love him. He puts his heart, body, soul, everything on the line on a week-to-week basis, which is just something I feel like you don't see too much in sports in general in today's era. 22 of 28, 381 yards, 4 touchdowns, a whopping 0 interceptions, and most importantly, the victory. Tampa Bay is now 7-7. They were #1 in the NFC South. They still are #1 in the NFC South. And you have 3 games left on the slate. And good time to be a Bucs fan. So today we're going to be talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But before we do, if you guys enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Buccaneers fans, if you try and get this video to 100 likes, that would mean the absolute. So this was actually just a great win. Offensively, defensively, despite the slow start, 7-3, you had a fumble, you had a strip sack fumble early on in the game. Despite the way the first quarter went, this team was resilient. They are a very resilient bunch, and they got the job done. The defense stepped up all game. They bended at times, more so in the second half, but they never broke at any point in this football game. And Baker Mayfield, the misfit legend himself, did more than enough to win this football game. We also saw Rashad White continue the momentum of being RB1 for this team next season. I made in my last Buccaneers video, I got way too much Rashad White hate in the comment section. I'm not a fan of it. I think this dude is the real deal. And yeah, he had a game today, 21 of 89 in the rush game. Keep in mind, the Green Bay Packers are not a good rush defense. What's weird, though, is the Packers actually have a good defense. You know, I know statistically they're not ranked well rush defense-wise, but statistically in general, they're a pretty solid defense, and the eye test proves that. They've got some players. Yes, they're missing some pieces, but so is every team in the league. Rashad White and the Buccaneers offense in general, this is something we really emphasized in our last Buccaneers video. I need to see the run game continue to improve and continue the momentum on a week-to-week basis. Now, don't let the stat sheet fool you. They ran 27 times for only 99 yards, averaging just 3.7 yards per carry. But Rashad White, and keep in mind, guys, this was 2 6-7 teams. That's not a divisional game, but it had a divisional feel where, you know, we're down to the last month of the season. Like, everybody is putting everything on the line here. And run game wise, I know it's just 99 yards, but folks, I'm going to take it. I'm also going to take the victory. 34-20. They were as efficient as you could possibly be, specifically in the second. Now, I will say, as a diehard Green Bay Packers fan, that second half was, it was tough on the eyes. It was tough on the heart. It was tough on the soul. But hey, respect, football is football. And this was just a great win for Tampa Bay. It seriously was. It was a really solid football game in general, but specifically in the second quarter and especially in the third quarter, this Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense and defense just did what they needed to do, and they did it in an impressive fashion. So Tampa Bay, we'll talk about this at the end of the video. Tampa's got 3 games left on the slate. You've got Jacksonville, you've got New Orleans, and you've got Carolina. If they go 2-1 at 9-8, I think they will make the playoffs. However, I think I speak for most Bucs fans here. Ideally, you'd like to win out, keep that win streak going, which would be at 6 games at that point in time, because, you know, yes, it would be nice for, like, and at the end of the day, folks, I do like Tampa Bay making the playoffs a year removed from Tom Brady is a huge victory in and of itself. But since we're here, I would love the 4th seed, and I would love to take on the struggling Philadelphia Eagles. Or I guess Detroit had a great bounce back victory yesterday against the Denver Broncos, but like, A home playoff game against Philadelphia right now or Detroit is something I would take in the year removed from Tom Brady. In the year that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were projected to win like 5 football games, like some optimistic, sportscasters had Tampa Bay maybe winning 6 football games, but nobody outside of Bucs fans had this team being solid. Baker Mayfield's, he's the real deal, man. He's seriously the real deal. He's 28 years old. Obviously, 6 years ago, he was selected first overall in the NFL draft out of Oklahoma. But guys, I think today really solidified the future of Baker Mayfield. As long as they continue, like in the last 3 games, to do what they've been doing and make the playoffs, I really am bought in. Like this dude, and for a guy like Baker, I don't think stats really ever tell the true story, like especially interceptions. You can go back to Baker's tenure with Cleveland, specifically his final year with Cleveland, where he threw a bunch of interceptions. A lot of those just were not his fault. And when I'm going to hand him guys like Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, who both of them did a phenomenal job this afternoon, Chris Godwin really needed this game because it's just been weird. Like, I don't know if it's a Canales thing. I don't know what it is, but we have not seen specifically as of late as much of Chris Godwin as we should. Heading into this season, I think most NFL fans would agree with the statement that Chris Godwin's one of the most underrated wide receiver 2s in the entire National Football League. 10 catches, 155 yards this afternoon. Mike Evans, 4 catches, 57 yards and a touchdown. Rachaad White, even with the 80-plus yards rushing that he had, 2 catches, 50 yards and a touchdown. Absolutely huge. K. Dotton, 2 catches, 44 yards. O'Keefe had a nice touchdown catch earlier on in the game. But obviously, the main storyline was the game-clinching touchdown by David Moore, where he juked out my entire Green Bay Packers defense. Absolutely unreal. 54-yard touchdown catch to the house, which pretty much sealed the game. But we have to talk about this Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense because they're still an above-average defense. Antoine Winfield Jr. with another forced fumble this afternoon. He's one of the most underappreciated players, not just defensive backs, not just defenders, not just Buccaneers players. Antoine Winfield Jr., in my opinion, is a future Hall of Famer, and he's one of the most underappreciated players in the entire National Football League. And what's crazy is he's 25 freaking years old. Lavonte David, please end your career with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because what he's done for this team is unreal. This guy is just the rock. He's the rock of this defense, and I absolutely love it. Now, the Buccaneers defense, while they only technically had 2 sacks, they did have 2 forced fumbles this afternoon. I really never felt like Jordan Love had a lot of time to throw the football. I think the Bucs defense did a phenomenal job this afternoon. And folks, they're sitting here at 7-7. They're sitting here at the number 4 seed with a home playoff game. Just continue it going. We'll talk more about this game and about this Bucs team as the week goes on. So stay tuned. Hit that like button. Hit that sub button for daily NFL content. But most importantly, Bucs fans, NFL fans, let me know your thoughts on this victory.